Good morning, everyone. So all of you, listen to me. So when we take UPSC essays, so there are many themes on which UPSC can ask essays. So whomsoever is mains Manthan students, they know we have already discussed a theme called as human flourishing. Very good. What we will do today is, we will look into another famous theme that UPSC likes. That is knowledge and reasoning. All right. Now I know some batch 6 students might be sitting in the class. For you, initially, it might seem difficult because you have joined UPSC preparation in the last 1 week only. Don't worry. We'll try to simplify it as much as possible so that you understand this theme, knowledge and reasoning, and maybe you can start writing few content on this theme, knowledge and reasoning. All of you are following me? Okay. So yesterday, we had a small discussion, batch 6 students, about newspaper, 4th of July. Why is this date very famous in the history of America? Why is this famous in the history of America? Independence Day, am I wrong? And they recently celebrated what? How many years has it been since they got independence? 250 years since their independence. Listen to me. Now, what is so special about it? Do you think the speciality is that American democracy is worth 250 years in itself? Or do you think there will be other significance associated with it? What do you think? Even if India is celebrating its 100th year of independence, yes, we have survived for 100 years. That's a matter on which you have to have pride. I'm not going to deny that. But when you're going through things like this, 250th year anniversary, 100th year anniversary, what are the other significance associated with it? Let us discuss. Go ahead. What could be the possible reason? America celebrated 250th year of its independence. Winning independence in itself, was it the greatest thing that we need to remember, celebrate, or there are other things? There are other things. For example, prior to its independence, your America, it was ruled by whom? Britishers. Prior to our independence, we were ruled by whom? The same villains, Britishers. Now, when India was seeking independence, you know very well, there were some Britishers who had commented, who had given their opinion that India cannot survive as an independent country for a longer time. Do you remember that? There were many Britishers who believed that Indians do not have the knowledge or the reasoning capabilities to be an independent country, to rule themselves. You know all of these things. Am I right or am I wrong? Nevertheless, our forefathers who designed our constitution, they had such visionary knowledge and reasoning capabilities that they created a constitution which has not only survived but thrived as well. All those people who were saying that India will not be an independent country for a long time, India will break, the union that it has created will break within a span of 10-15 years, all of them, we have proved them wrong. You guys agree with me? That is the thing. celebrating 100th year anniversary, 250th year anniversary, as good or as great it might be, that is the day where you have to think consciously. What was the knowledge, what was the reasoning that prompted them to create an American Constitution like what they have? What was the knowledge or reasoning capabilities behind Indian constitutional makers creating our Constitution? When batch 6, when classes start, they will take a polity for you. Then you will learn comparison between American Constitution and Indian Constitution. Now you know this very well. When Indian Constitution was set up, do you think we went through just few constitutions, or do you think we went through a good number of constitutions comprehensively? We went through and read many constitutions across the world comprehensively. But did we borrow whatever was there in American Constitution, Control C, Control V, 100% cut, copy, paste? We never did that. We might have been inspired by them, but we used our reasoning capabilities to make sure whatever we borrow is applied to Indian reality, to Indian society. That is our reasoning. You guys agree with me? Yesterday, one of the doubts which was asked by one of your batchmates was this: sir, I'm from a science background, I'm from an engineering background. You give me a question, the causes behind it, the solutions or the answers for it, I can give it quite easily. But when you give me a philosophical type of a question, philosophical type of an essay, it becomes quite difficult or complicated for him. Like him, many other people as well. Do you remember this doubt yesterday, guys? So that is when I told him, if you attend your classes consistently, whatever formula you require, whatever knowledge you require to decode such type of philosophical essays, you will be able to do it. That's not a problem. As of now, I want you to understand the significance of knowledge and reasoning on the broader side. If in this world there is no knowledge, there is no reasoning, do you think civilization as such, will it progress or will it start to decline? It starts to decline. Imagine, as an individual, there is no knowledge in me, there is no reasoning capabilities in me at all. Will I be able to flourish in life? Will I be able to be happy in life? Will I be able to succeed in life, or will it be on the lower side? Lower side, am I right or am I wrong? This is what you need to understand. Knowledge and reasoning, almost every year, there will be essay topics based on this theme. We will discuss some of the basics of knowledge and reasoning. We will take up certain PYQs and start practicing as well for it. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Did you understand the significance of knowledge and reasoning? Without knowledge and reasoning, do you think progress that we seek in life, will it happen or will it decline? It declines. You guys agree with me? Simple enough. Now look into this, guys. Look into this. I told you, almost every other year, there are essay topics directly based on knowledge and reasoning. Look at the first one. They've given it as simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Now, if you look at the Insights IAS logo, the motto, what is the logo, the motto of your Insights IAS? Simplifying UPSC preparation. Am I right or am I wrong? Even Albert Einstein, Richard Feynman, they have commented, the mark of a person who is truly intelligent is when he is able to explain complicated things in as simple way as possible. Am I making my point clear? You might have studied this in some newspaper or some self-help books that you read usually. Life is quite simple. But when we react to this life, do we keep that simplicity or do we complicate it? We complicate it. Am I right or am I wrong? Coming to the class, trying to complete whatever is happening in the class on that particular day, revising it adequately, practicing it adequately. This might be a simple formula that can help you in your examination. But we tend to overcomplicate it by referring n number of books. Yes or no? So keep things simple in life. This is the reasoning, this is the knowledge that they want you to have. Am I making my point clear? So like this, from 1993 till the present times, almost every other year, there will be one or sometimes two essay topics on this theme, knowledge and reasoning. All of you are following me? Look at the other topics. Ships sink because of water that gets into them. Now you know ships. Do they travel on land or on water? They travel on water. Very good. Now listen to me. Let us say I compare my life to a ship. Now what will happen if water gets into that ship? Will it sail or will it drown? Imagine water gets inside of the ship. What will happen to it? It drowns. Sorry, it drowns. Am I right or am I wrong? Imagine in my life, I let in too much of worries. I let in too much of fear. I let in too much of anger, anxiety, whatever you want to call it. When all of these enter my life way too much, what will happen to my life? Will it be a smooth sailing or will I also start to drown? Did you understand? You should be careful, even though in life, worries, anxiety, fear, everything will be there. You should be careful how much you are going to allow that to enter into your life. If you allow it way too much, if you overthink way too much, if you overcomplicate way too much, your life is going to sink, just like a ship which has water inside of it. Did you understand? All of you. They're trying to teach you reasoning. You might be surrounded by all of these distractions, worries and whatnot, but be careful. You do not allow all of these things to enter into your life way too much. Did you understand it? Reasoning based essays. So the theme is knowledge and reasoning. On this theme, they've asked n number of essay topics. Look at this one. Life is a long journey from human being and being humane. So what is the meaning of this? Life is a long journey from human being to humane being. Now you have met so many people in your life. Now all of these people, do they have that humanity in them? Do they have that manushatva that you call in them? Or do they appear as if they're just very mechanical creatures? What do you think? Mechanical creatures. On the other hand, you might have met some people. They have all the academic knowledge that you have. But apart from that, they also have manushatva. They have that humanity in them. When I'm born on this planet, do you think I will have that manushatva or humanity in me, or am I just a human being? What do you think? Just a human being. Eat, pray, sleep. That type of a being. But in this journey, as I age, as I mature, there is a possibility, if I learn the things that I'm supposed to learn, if I meet the right people in my life, from that human being, I might become humane. Am I right or am I wrong? That is what the essay topic is trying to ask you. It is making you reason what is the purpose of human life. The purpose of human life is not just about roti, kapda, makan. The purpose of human life is to develop that humanity inside of you. Manushatva inside of you. Am I making my point clear? This is what it is. When you see topics like this, especially precious, you tend to get a little bit anxious. So the kind of questions on which we were writing answers, they were different. Now the kind of questions that they're giving over here, I don't know what to write in the introduction, what to write in the body, nor in the conclusion. Don't worry. Our responsibility is to simplify these things as much as possible. Am I making my point clear? So as you can see on the board, there are a good number of essay topics asked on knowledge and reasoning. And you know this very well. In the last couple of years, what has been the average marks of even toppers when it comes to essay? 105 to 115, can I say that? Some people are scoring less than 100, 70s and all of these things. So freshers who are sitting here, even before they start proper essay classes for you, if you understand some basics through open sessions like this, it might help you going forward. And those who are part of mains month-end courses, you already have an awareness of human flourishing. Now you're going to have an awareness of knowledge and reasoning. Keep taking essay topics from PYQs, keep taking essay topics from wherever, whichever institution is providing it, and start writing. Extensively start writing. Even if you're not writing some 12-page essay in the beginning, it's fine for me. But start the process. Or if you're following me, listen to me now. If I take all of these topics and start to discuss them one by one, will it be easier or will it be complicated? It will not be easy, it will be complicated. So what we are going to do is, we will identify the sub-themes in knowledge and reasoning, sub-themes. All of you are following me? Sub-themes. Knowledge and reasoning is the main theme. Under that knowledge and reasoning, there are sub-themes. What are these famous sub-themes? Look at the first one. Knowledge, truth, and wisdom. If you open your 2025 essay paper, the first essay topic is what? Truth knows no color. Very good. If you open 2019 essay paper, one of the essay topics that they have given is wisdom finds truth. Truth knows no color. I will be discussing it later. Don't worry. Wisdom finds truth. That also I will be discussing. So through these essay topics, they're trying to teach you, as a human being, you need to have an understanding of what is truth. As a human being, you need to know how to accumulate wisdom. If you do not know these things, life is going to be very difficult for you. They're trying to give you this knowledge. They're trying to make you reason like this. Am I making my point clear? We will be discussing an essay topic from all of these sub-themes. Need not worry. So I take knowledge and reasoning as a theme. Under that, what are the sub-themes? Knowledge, truth, and wisdom. Look at the other one. Scientific temper and intellectual curiosity. So many of you might come from science background. Some of you might come from arts or commerce. Be that as it may. You know this very well. If science has to progress, will it progress if I'm blindly following whatever is there in the society, or should I question? Should I blindly follow or should I be curious? Exactly. If you do not have these reasoning capabilities in your life, you will be blindly following whatever the society is imposing on you or any other stakeholders. And you will never be able to realize your true potential in life. You guys agree with me? Imagine the Americans at one point in time, they blindly followed whatever the Britishers told. America would not have become a democracy. America would not have given a constitution to the world. In that constitution, what do they write? Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Very good. Am I making my point clear? Whatever discoveries, whatever inventions you're coming across, do you think those discoveries and inventions happened just like that, or do you think it happened because one person was questioning, one person was doubting? What do you think? Blind, or is it questioning? Yes, my dear friends, you also need to reason, you also need to question. If you do not do that, the intellectual curiosity will never develop in you. If you do not develop intellectual curiosity, you will just be a mere human being surviving on this planet, trying to meet your basic necessities and not thrive. Surviving is one thing. Thriving is another thing altogether different. You guys agree with me? I was watching a documentary on American War of Independence, on all of these things. 250 years, what are the greatest achievements of America? They were discussing all of these things, and some articles had come in yesterday's newspaper related to this. Am I right or am I wrong? Now look at America, look at India. I know America is much older than us. Howsoever, in which of these countries do you have more research, you have more development? America, am I right? Some of you might argue, sir, America has a good number of resources. They have better infrastructure facilities. They have better schools and colleges. And you're partially correct. I'm not saying no. Howsoever, if you take some of the great companies in America, for example, your Apple, do you think Apple started in the Silicon Valley in some very big building, or do you think Apple started in a small garage? That is the thing. Now, at any given point in time, even though we are younger compared to America, what you're supposed to do is this. You're supposed to think, you're supposed to reason, you're supposed to find innovative solutions for whatever existing problems you have. That is when scientific progress happens naturally. Am I making my point clear? But if you look in 21st century, you're using your mobile. When you use your mobile, do you type all by yourself, or do you have something called as autocorrect? Autocorrect. You would have used autocorrect so much. When I give you an answer, when I give you a question and I tell you to write an answer, your mind will be unable to comprehend whether the spelling that you're writing is right or wrong. These things happens with you. Am I right or am I wrong? You would have used autocorrect so much on your mobile. When you are writing an answer, it becomes very difficult for you to know whether that spelling is correct or incorrect. It happens with all of us, including me at times. I'm not going to deny that. Reasoning should develop healthily, organically. You should read books. You should talk to people. You should develop that self-reflection. But in a digital age like this, we don't develop reasoning healthily. All your social media, all your other digital technologies, they give you a ready-made answer instantaneously. Am I right or am I wrong? So many times I see in my students, I give them a question to write an answer for. They don't write an answer by going through the notes or thinking by themselves. They just Google it. Sometimes they chat GPT it as well. When you're dependent on digital technologies so much, do you think you will ever be able to progress in your life, or do you think you will regress? Exactly. That is why UPSC a couple of years ago, they asked a very simple essay topic, the process of self-discovery. Self-discovery basically means, who am I? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are the values that are very crucial to me, very dear to me? That is self-discovery. Now, in our parents' generations or earlier than them, the self-discovery used to happen in the schools. The self-discovery used to happen by reading books, traveling, like this it used to happen. But in the present times, your self-discovery has been outsourced. What should you wear? Let's go to Myntra and decide. What should you buy? Zomato will tell you. Based on the number of ratings, the dishes have been given. Am I right or am I wrong? Which institution to join? Let me go and read the Google reviews. The process of self-discovery has been outsourced to what? Technology. Most of the times it can be negative. There are some times it can be positive as well. We will be discussing essay topics like this later on. But identify the sub-themes. Look at the next one. Critical thinking and dissent. Now imagine there are a set of truths in society. There are a set of realities in society. Pre-independence. Let us say I go back to ancient era, medieval era. At that point in time, you know that Indian society was divided into 4 varnas. What are these 4 varnas? Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Now Shudras suffered a lot of discriminatory pains. Even Vaishyas had certain restrictions. Am I right or am I wrong? Now imagine I am someone born in that particular society. I want to question the existing realities. Do you think at that point in time I had the freedom to dissent? Do you think I had the freedom to question? No. That was the problem. Now post-independence, we have a constitution. In that constitution, have they given me a right to dissent? Yes. If you go and open yesterday's Indian Express newspaper, I think it happened in some Bombay High Court or Delhi High Court, I forgot. It was related to a justice. There was a person who was protesting. Authorities had filed a case on him. The guy was protesting without harming anyone. So the judge in that particular court, he scolded not the protester, rather he scolded the authorities for arresting him. Am I making my point clear? You go and open today's newspaper, you will come across a guy called as Sonam Wangchuk. Now, Sonam Wangchuk, he was protesting against certain policies of the central government in relation to Ladakh. He was kept in jail, do you remember? In a democracy, if dissent is there on paper, but if it is not there in reality, do you think all of these regressive practices which exist in society will stop, or do you think it will continue for a good number of years? It will still continue. It will still continue. Even to this day, there are many superstitious beliefs which have religious sanction at times. As far as I know, no religion sanctions superstitious beliefs. The core religion I'm talking about. But at times, you have some elements in the society, they use religion as an excuse for their superstitious beliefs. You guys agree with me? I don't have the dissenting capabilities. I don't have the reasoning liberty in the society, because if I question, I'll be called as an anti-national, anti-religious. This type of thing is not good for the progress of the civilization. You guys agree with me? Simple. For human knowledge to develop, for human reasoning to thrive, to fly, it requires proper ecosystem. And I'm not just meaning democracy, guys. Even in your home, your parents might be following n number of things. In this n number of things, there might be some things which are superstitious, irrational, whatever you want to call it as. If they provide you the necessary freedom to question them, good. If they do not provide you the necessary freedom to question them, what will happen? These practices, will they stop or will they keep on continuing? Continuing. The problem is there. Charity begins at home. Do you remember this English statement? Same way. Any change we want to bring in this world, it starts from your home. Am I making my point clear? Stephen Hawking. Do you remember this guy's name? What did Stephen Hawking do? What did he work on? Tell me, what did Stephen Hawking work on? Science or biology? Sorry, physics or biology? Okay, good enough. In physics, what was the area which was his keen interest? You know the answer, guys. Come on. Black holes, do you remember? Yes, listen to me. So in one of the interviews, a journalist asked a question about Stephen Hawking and his upbringing. So Stephen Hawking very proudly says, I grew up in a home where father, mother and all my siblings, we used to sit and we used to have dinner together. And during this dinner table conversations, we used to share our opinions. We used to criticize each other's opinion. That is how a healthy ecosystem for my knowledge and for my reasoning capabilities were born. Do you think similar type of setup we have in our family, or is it contrary to it? What do you think? Similar or is it contrary? Contrary. That is why most of the times we like to blindly follow an authority. That authority can be father, mother, prime minister, chief minister, or whomsoever it might be. We rarely question things. We rarely reason in life. Am I right, am I wrong? Look at the next one. Reason, intuition, and decision making. Now, whenever you take a decision, do you think only rationality is something that you should keep in your mind, or emotions as well? Emotions. Now, batch 6 students, the freshest batch that Insights IAS has to offer this year. So, when you took a decision to come to UPSC, was it based on rationality alone, or was it based on emotions as well? Tell me honestly. Batch 6. Both, right? Yes. You might have seen some IAS, IPS officers' videos. Some of them might have come to your school and gave a very big speech. You might have seen some security guards accompanying your IAS, IPS officers. Emotions. Am I right or am I wrong? Whenever you take a decision in life, Should you take decision just based on rationality, just based on emotion, or should it be a mixture of both? Exactly. But as far as I have seen in our country, most of the times when we take decisions, it's emotional. There are some people who take decisions purely rationally. Both of them are wrong. The ideal thing is you need to understand the emotions, you need to understand the rationality, and then go about and then take a decision. This knowledge you should have. Because when you become an IAS or an IPS officer tomorrow, imagine there is some rule which says that you have to give certain subsidies to an individual only if those people are having the right documents. But imagine an old lady comes to you. She has no documents whatsoever. She has no home whatsoever. You ask around the people from that region, is this lady genuine? They say, sir, this lady is very genuine. She has no one left in her family. She is homeless. The mind says, don't give her any subsidies because she does not have any document. What will the heart say? De do. Kuch to de do. How should you take a decision at that point in time? Should you take a decision purely in a rational manner, or should it be a mixture of both? You should ensure that you showcase compassion to her without breaking your constitutional morality. Batch 6 students, don't get scared. Constitutional morality, what it is. Don't get scared. When polity starts for you, or when you were there in school, you had a subject called as civics. The NCERTs that you study in the initial pages, what have they given in the NCERT? Preamble. In the preamble, can anyone tell me what are the values which are there? My friend here, second bench, third bench, sorry. Preamble nodidya? Not you, sir. Yes. What's your name? Nanjan Kumara? Okay. Preamble nodidya alva? Adru one value. Nan baitilla ninge, edurkobeda. Batch 6 by a side integrator. Good. Sir, nimge adaru gotta? Nanjan Kumar Pakka Kotiroru. Yes, sir. Value? Secularism. Okay. Good. Very good. Sakishto. If you take your constitution, if you take your preamble, they have mentioned things such as equality, liberty, fraternity, justice. In your 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, they included integrity. Do you remember? And if you look at other parts of the Constitution, they have mentioned many secular provisions as well for secularism. Yes or no? Constitutional morality, my dear friends, it basically means as an officer, as a common man, whatever thoughts I'm thinking, whatever words I'm speaking, whatever actions I'm doing, it is based on those constitutional values. You know very well, secularism is there in our Constitution. But do you think all Indians are secular? So are we constitutionally, do we possess that constitutional morality, all of us? No, that's the thing. When that old lady comes to you, you should help her without breaking your constitutional morality, and at the same time showcasing her some compassion, some karune. Almost every once, 2 or 3 years, they will be asking question on that reason, intuition, and decision making. So please be careful. Last time they asked a question on this was in 2022. What was that essay topic? Visionary decision making happens at the cross section of intuition and logic. All right. When you decided to come to UPSC, yes, you might have been tempted by emotions, intuition. Intuition, let us say. Now, just because of that intuition, you are not going to become an officer. You need to find the right logic, you need to find the right institution, the right mentors, the right faculties, whatever it might be. Only when both of these two things come together will you be able to achieve success in life. Now, a small exercise, all of you open your 2025 essay paper. All of you, everyone. Open. If you don't have the PYQ book with you, you can use your mobile. All right. Google UPSC Essay Paper 2025. UPSC Essay Paper 2025. UPSC Essay Paper 2025. And in this essay paper, I want you to tell me some topics which are directly based on knowledge and reasoning. They would not have mentioned this essay topic is about knowledge and reasoning. They might not have even used the keywords there. But that essay topic will be based on this theme, knowledge and reasoning. Noting, there are some essay topics based on knowledge and reasoning. Find me that. Truth knows no color. Good. Other than that, thought finds a word and creates one also. Imagine whatever knowledge, whatever reasoning you have, it is all negative. It is all negative. So whatever thoughts we have, will it create a positive word or will it create a negative word? Negative word. Am I making my point clear? Not every year they will give knowledge and reasoning in the question just like that, directly. It will be indirect most of the times like this. All right. Thought finds and creates a word. It is based on knowledge and reasoning. Imagine whatever thoughts I'm having in my life, it is purely emotional in nature. What type of word will I be finding? What type of word will I be creating? Will it be a very good word for me or will it be problematic? Problematic. Imagine, I think not only based on my emotions but using rationality. The kind of word that I'm going to find, the kind of word that I'm going to create will be useful for me, will bring me success like this. Look at another theme, mathematics, logic and the beauty of reason. If they want to make your life a little bit more complicated and difficult, they will bring science, they will bring mathematics, and then they will connect that to your reasoning. What is mathematics? Some of my students know the answer for this. Batch 6 students, you have learnt mathematics as long as you can remember. Tell me what is mathematics. Sorry? Go ahead, Anjali. That is the essay topic. Mathematics is the music of reason. You're telling me the essay topic. I want definition of mathematics. Good. Finding solution for a problem. Oh, mathematical problem for an equation. Good. Mathematics is finding solution to an equation, a mathematical equation involving variables. That is what your friend is saying. Did you understand this? All of you. Papas bani kelili. Our life, it is also like an equation. Am I right? And to solve for this equation, to solve for these variables, do you think an answer will come just when I say abracadabra, or do you think I should develop reasoning capabilities? Yes. Just like how you solve your mathematical equations using various formula, using various reasoning capabilities, likewise you need to do something similar even for your life as well. And whatever music we talk about, now do you think whatever music we play, is it haphazard in nature, or do you think there is a proper reasoning behind them? Proper reasoning. You have to arrange these frequencies in a certain manner, only then you will have your music. You guys agree with me? If they want to make your life a little bit complicated, they will make it technical like this. All right? Even then, if you understand your concepts, it won't be so difficult. Don't worry. We will discuss that as well. Look into the next thing. Technology, knowledge, and the human mind. Now open your 2024 essay paper. 2024 essay paper. Okay. 2024 essay paper. Find me essay topics. Find me essay topics based on knowledge and reasoning, especially from the 6th theme. Technology and human mind. The empires of the futures are empires of the mind. That is one thing. Other than that, is there any other essay topic in 2024 essay paper? Sorry, sir? The doubter is a true man of science. Good. Other than that, anything else? Social media is creating what in you? It is creating FOMO in you. In one essay paper itself, you have essays on knowledge and reasoning theme. So the more you understand this theme, the more you start accumulating content on it, the more you start writing, it becomes very easy for you. You guys agree with me? Look at the other one. The last sub-theme, self-knowledge and inner awareness. Now, knowledge that we possess, should that knowledge only be about the external world or should it be about the inner world? What do you think, sir? What's your name? What's your name? Arvind. Where are you from, Arvind? Yellinda? Davangere, na? Nice. Esto jana Davangere inda bartidira? Namgu kushine. Arvind, tell me. Knowledge namge ಏನidiyalla ಅದು ಬರೀ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕಾ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ನರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಇರಬೇಕಾ? ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು? Both alva? Very good. Most of the times when we speak, when we accumulate knowledge, we might have good amount of knowledge about the external world, how the world is working, but when it comes to the inner working of our soul, inner working of our mind, do we possess knowledge about it or is it missing? It's missing. You cannot be an effective and efficient person until and unless you have knowledge about your own self as well. Your UPSC will be asking you essay topics on all of these sub-themes. For example, couple of years ago, they had asked an essay topic. Mindful manifesto is the catalyst for tranquil self. Explain, Martin. The essay topic ಏನು ಅಂತ. Mindful manifesto is the catalyst for tranquil self. Mindfulness. Even now when you're listening to me, your brain, do you think it is focusing on whatever I'm saying or do you think your brain is pulling you in so many different directions? It will. That's the nature of brain. But you need to have that calmness in your brain, in your mind. You need to find that peace in your mind. When you do that, no matter how many different directions your brain might be pulling you, you will be just focusing on what I'm trying to convey to you. There will be peace, there will be calmness, there will be mindfulness in your mind, provided you know what is important for you. That knowledge you should have. All of you who are sitting here, you might have paid upwards of 1 lakh for these courses. Am I right? Am I wrong? Forget the money, you're spending time here. That is even more important. If you're aware of this, no matter how many people are pulling you in different directions, no matter whatever the distractions might be, you'll focus on what is there in front of you. Your mind will be tranquil. That tranquilness will help you in your future. Did you understand this? It's as simple as that. Nothing more, nothing more. Most of the times we have knowledge about the external world. We don't have knowledge about the inner world. That is why we suffer. Did you understand this? So if they give you knowledge and reasoning, how many sub-themes are there? You have 7 sub-themes. Don't forget that. 7 sub-themes. All of you are following me? I hope somewhere in your book you're writing these things down. We'll also write down certain basics that I will be discussing. And then I will be giving you some assignments here itself. And you will be writing the answers for these assignments here itself. All of you are following me? Don't be worried at all. Look into this one, guys. So let us start by discussing the first one, knowledge, truth and wisdom. That is the first sub-theme, am I right? What are the essay topics that they've asked on this sub-theme? Wisdom finds truth. The real is rational and the rational is real. What is research but a blind date with knowledge? All 3 of them are essay topics which have been asked in the past PYQs. All of you are following me? Knowledge and reasoning is the theme. Sub-theme, first sub-theme is knowledge, truth and wisdom. On this sub-theme, there are 3 questions. Wisdom finds truth. What is knowledge but a blind date with research? Sorry, what is research but a blind date with knowledge? And the second one is the real is rational and the rational is real. The moment you look at the second one, it makes you a little bit irritating. Am I right or am I wrong? But don't worry, we'll try to simplify it today. We'll try to understand it very well today. All of you are following me? Okay, good, good. Wapas pani. Look into this. This article, it was in news when? July 2nd. June, madam, July. All right, July 2nd. Look at the headlines of the article. Methyl isocyanate of law. Supreme Court slants AI hallucinations, cautious NCLT verdict. Any idea what is NCLT? National Companies Law Tribunal. You know what happened? So there was a case in this NCLT. Some lawyers, they had used ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, you might have heard of their names, to prepare their argument and everything. Now if ChatGPT was giving real information, truthful information, no problem whatsoever. But what ChatGPT did was, it formed its own case. There was no case in the past like that. It formed its own case and it gave it to the lawyer. Now, if the lawyer was a little bit smart, he would have confirmed whether this case actually exists. He also did not confirm it and it was argued in the court. Verdict was given. Imagine NCLT has given a verdict. If I have a problem with this, where will I go? You have appellate tribunal. So I went to appellate tribunal. Even appellate tribunal was unable to find out that the arguments made by the lawyer is based on false information. Finally, it went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court was able to find out that the information given by the lawyer, it does not exist. It is AI hallucination. Hallucination andre eno? It's like a mirage that you find in a desert. It feels as if there is water. Yes, but when you go near it, there is no water. Hallucination is also like this. You're imagining things which does not exist in reality. Thankfully, Supreme Court was able to find it. Imagine the cases which is there in the judiciary based on AI hallucination and no one else has found it yet. Did you understand? All of you. If you take this sub-theme, knowledge, truth and wisdom, do you think I will gain wisdom in my life if I use too much of technology? Anything that you use, it should be balanced. When you use too much of technology to find wisdom, you will never be able to find the truth. And batch 6 students, listen to me. Other students, they have an idea. Batch 6 students, listen to me. Any paper you take in UPSC, any paper, it will always have some current affairs implication. Any essay topic, they might ask, the real is rational and the rational is real. Even for essay topics like that, you can use current affairs events like this. For example, keep this verdict in mind. Look at the second topic, the real is rational and the rational is. Now, what is reality? I told some of my students in batch 6 yesterday when I took a mentorship class for you. What is reality? It should be based on some rational principles. Whatever the lawyer gave to NCLT, was it based on rational principles or was it irrational? Irrational. And whatever NCLT or the appellate tribunal, they applied their mind. Did they apply their human reasoning or did they blindly accept it? Blindly accept it. Am I right? So in this world, when we are surrounded by so many irrational, superstitious, temporary type of things, it is very easy to lose our way. We might lose what is the proper idea of, we might lose the idea of what is reality. We might be under the grip of Maya, we might be under the grip of illusionary things. Am I right or am I wrong? Don't worry, I'm just trying to tell you how these sub-themes are reflected in current affairs and in other ways. Come back. Look into this, guys. Scientific temper and intellectual curiosity. This was the second theme. On the second sub-theme, look at the questions that they have asked. Disinterested intellectual curiosity is the lifeblood of civilization. That was the PYQ. I've just mentioned the first 3 words. Disinterested intellectual curiosity. Disinterested intellectual curiosity. What does it mean? A scientist, imagine he believes in a certain thing. But when he's doing experiment, he gets answers to the contrary. As a scientist, what should you do? Should you accept that you have failed, or do you think you should try to hide your failure? Accept. Because as a scientist, you have a moral duty to stand for what is truth, even if it comes against your own personal reputation. Am I right or am I wrong? As a scientist, it is your duty to find innovative solutions. There should be no personal angle over there. Disinterested intellectual curiosity. I did some experiment, I was proven wrong. I will publish the results nevertheless. Arthat clear nahi? Disinterested intellectual curiosity is the lifeblood of civilization. Sometimes you might be having conversation with your friends. Let us say it is about religion. Let us say it is about any other thing, business or politics or any other thing. One friend will always be in favor of a political party, even if that political party is doing something wrong again and again, again and again, again and again. Am I right? Is he giving his arguments in a disinterested manner, or is he giving his arguments in a biased manner? That is the problem. In science or in any other domain of life, intellectual curiosity should be disinterested. You should remove all the personal biases, personal angle, and you should just pursue the truth in whatever it might be. Arthat clear nahi? Look at the second one. The doubter is a true man of science. We will discuss that essay topic today. Don't worry. Look into this. This is your Albert Einstein giving this quote. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. If you take education system in our country, do you think our education system, your schools, your colleges and everything, are they encouraging curiosity? Or are they hampering this curiosity? Hampering. Some of my students, they tell me, sir, when we ask questions in the class, our teachers at one point in time, they used to scold us for asking questions. And at the same time, they used to target us quite regularly. Am I right, sir? Am I wrong? Curiosity must always be there. And last time around, I was having a conversation with one of my batch, one of my students. There is a saying in English, curiosity kills the cat, but it also saves. Curiosity is very important. Imagine our prehistoric men. They had no curiosity whatsoever. If they had no curiosity, do you think they would have been able to discover fire? Do you think they would have been able to invent wheel? Curiosity must exist. Whenever you give some toys or you say something to a small baby, to a small kid, will it accept it or will it question it? Because it has curiosity. Whatever toys you give to a child, will it be playing with the toy in the same way 1 week down the line, or do you think it would have broken it? Broken it. And it has so much of curiosity, it wants to know what is there inside of it. Even though it does not understand much of it, but it wants to just break open and see what is happening. And you remember that famous Three Idiots movie. In the Three Idiots movie, most of the students who were there, were they inspired by curiosity or were they blindly following whatever the principals were saying? Blindly following. All right. I know my students who have been listening since quite some time, since quite a few months, they will be knowing this. Batch 6, please understand this. No matter what subject you read, you should have the ability to apply the concepts of that subject to what is happening in and around you. When you do that, that is when you truly learn the things. If not, it becomes problematic. Or if you're following me, look into this. This is your critical thinking and dissent. This is your sub-theme 3. Look at some of the essay topics that they've asked. Thinking is like a game. It does not begin until there is an opposite team. Thinking is like a game. All right. Let us say I take the example of our parliament. On one side, who do you have? Ruling party. And on the other side, what do we have? Opposition party. Now, do you think a parliament can work effectively only when there is ruling party, or do you think there is opposition also which is required? Why is opposition so important? Yes, there should be someone to question, that someone must be voicing our pain, our grievances. That someone, that opposition party will hold those ruling party members accountable for how they are exercising their power. Am I right? But you tell me, as of now, in 21st century, even if polity has not been started, you know the answer. How do ruling party members treat the opposition party members? With respect or with a lot of disrespect? The problem is that opposition can be external. Whatever I gave you, parliament and everything is external. There are internal oppositions as well. For example, batch 6 students, you are sitting now. Until the last couple of days, what did you have? Orientation classes. You had a topper stock yesterday. Now here you are being introduced to some UPSC content for the very first time, I guess. Am I right, sir? Now here, when you are supposed to be thinking, when you're supposed to apply your mind, when you're supposed to connect it with what is happening in and around you, let's be honest, is it easy or is it difficult? It will be difficult, right? Initially, it will be difficult. So when things get difficult, what is that opposition which is born inside of you? It might be fear. Am I right or am I wrong? It might be low confidence. It might be that inferiority complex. Am I right or am I wrong? Opposition is not just an external visible one. Opposition can also be internal and invisible. Whatever fear you have, is it completely negative, or whatever fear you have is going to help you to get better? Whatever fear you have, it's not negative. That fear can motivate you. That fear can make you very energetic, passionate to learn the right things, to get better. All you following me? Thinking is like a game. It does not begin until you have an opposition. I want to clear UPSC examination. What are the opposition? Maybe your English is not as good as it should be. Maybe you're having problems with certain subjects of a philosophical nature. All these are oppositions. But these oppositions can help you to get better, guys. That is how you improve your thinking process. Am I right? If you take a chess board, do you think there is only one side in which we play, or do you think there is another opposition side? Another opponent team? That opponent team will always keep me very active. Am I right or am I wrong? Every game is like that. It can be as simple as even snake and ladder. In snake and ladder, who is the opposition? The snakes, do you remember? At 98 or 99, there was a very long snake that used to take you to the first row. Our life can also be like that. For example, in UPSC itself, prelims you have cleared, mains you have cleared, you go to interview and you get a board where they are very against you. Again come down. Start the journey again. In life, you won't have control on something called as luck. Am I right or am I wrong? When you're throwing the dice, luck matters. Which position you're landing in, luck matters. You guys agree with me? Like this. Be careful. Thinking is like a game. Even that snake, even that luck, even that fate might keep you active. You will learn how to use the dice. Am I right or am I wrong? Some of you might have done that. Some of you might have observed some people, whenever they throw the number that they have in mind or somewhat near to that. Be that as it may, thinking is like a game. It does not begin until you have an opposition. Remember the importance of this. Look at the next thing. Freedom of thought requires freedom of disagreement. Imagine I'm growing up in a family, in a school, or in a democracy where they're not even allowing me to dissent, criticize the government in power. If I criticize the government in power, they will put cases on me. They will harm my family members. Will I be able to courageously tell them what I feel? Never. Are there countries like that in this world? North Korea is one example. Pakistan is another example. Iran is another example. You guys agree with me? In Iran, have they given the power to dissent to everyone in the society, or have they limited it? Limited it. That is the thing. Look into this, guys. Abraham Lincoln. All right, I told you I was watching this documentary and the documentary was quite good. Abraham Lincoln, he was Prime Minister of USA or President of USA? President of USA. They have presidential form of governance. Now this Abraham Lincoln, when he was president, in his cabinet, he chose 4 members who had opposed him throughout his life. Team of rivals. The name of the book also. Let us say Abraham Lincoln, I have chosen 4 people who have criticized me throughout their life. Now is this something very simple or is it something very radical, extraordinary? What do you think? Radical and extraordinary. Why did Abraham Lincoln choose those four people? Because those four people have the necessary courage to stand up to him, to stand up to any policy decision he is making. You should always have some opposition. They will keep your decision making very good. But now, when I talk about the present generation, if the teachers scold them, if the teachers criticize them, or parents or any other members of the society, if they oppose them, rather than taking it constructively or healthily, the present generation tends to character assassinate them. Am I right or am I wrong? Not all, but some people. You guys agree with me? Thinking is like a game. It does not begin until you have an opposition. One of the best essay topics ever asked. And today you learned something. Did anyone know about Abraham Lincoln and team of rivals? I hope you learned it, and I hope you're going to use it in your essay topics in the way I want you to. I'll teach you that, don't worry. Come back. Look into this, guys. Another theme, reason, intuition, and decision making. Do you remember I spoke about this couple of minutes ago? Look into this. Now there is a guy with a book in his hand and an apple is falling. Who do you think this guy is? Isaac Newton. Now, apple fell on his head. Intuitively, he felt pain. Thank God it was not a coconut. All right. It was an apple that fell on his head. Intuitively, he felt some pain. He did not stop there. He applied his reasoning capabilities. He applied rationality. Why do things fall? There must be some force which is attracting it. Which force am I talking about? Exactly. I'm pretty sure in history there might have been so many other people on whose head apple, coconut, everything had fallen. But very few people wondered. Very few people reasoned. What was the reason for things falling and not just keep going up? Your decision making should be balanced by intuition as well as logic, reasoning. Very good. Look into this one. Another theme, mathematics, logic, and the beauty of reason. Mathematics. Look into this. You have your book written by Kepler. Kepler was an astrophysicist. Do you remember? Astronomer. Now he said that whatever universe we see, that universe is not random. There is a formula behind this universe. There is mathematics behind this universe, and he wrote a book regarding this. Am I making my point clear? You knew very well in the Western world at one point in time they believed what? Which was at the center of the universe? Was it sun or was it earth as per them in the ancient period? It was earth. But there was no mathematical logic behind it. There was no mathematics behind it. Kepler was one of the first few fellows who start saying whatever observable phenomenon is there in the universe, is there in the domain of space, there must be some mathematical logic behind it. Mathematics is the invisible hand which is controlling the life. This is what Kepler said, a scientist. If I have to give you another easy example, my students know this example for batch 6. If I have to simplify this for you, you might have heard of a guy called as Einstein. Richard Feynman. Richard Feynman was a physicist. Many of the scientists, they were very good musicians as well. Your Einstein used to play violin. Your Feynman used to play bongos. You might have heard of your Abdul Kalam. He used to play veena. Am I making my point clear? He used to play veena. Now, all of these scientists, when they were playing your violin or bongos or things like that, their mind was so much focused. They were able to think in a clear manner, and they were able to decode or decipher some of the existing, they were able to decode and find answers for some of the existing issues. Am I making my point clear? Yesterday, for some of the batch 6 students, I gave you the example of Einstein. He had something called as ADHD. When his parents bought him a violin, initially he was not willing to learn, but nevertheless he learned. By playing that violin, he was able to focus. His theory of relativity, photoelectric effect, The reason behind their success could be attributed to how he learned to focus, how that music helped him, and how he was able to find the mathematical logic behind some of the observable phenomena that we see in the society. Am I making my point clear? All of you. Like this. Come back, come back. Look into this. Technology, knowledge, and the human mind. You yourself saw in 2024, there were at least 2 topics based on technology. Look into this one. Now, whatever persona we have, personality we have, is it only existing in the physical world, or do we have a personality even in the digital domain? Digital domain, am I right or am I wrong? I've seen some of my own students who want to be influencers these days, UPSC influencers. God bless them, right? I wish them a lot of success. You people have 2 personas, one in the physical world and in the digital world. Do you think both of these persona will always be matching together, or do you think there will be mismatch? Mismatch. Physical world is based on a lot of reality. In the digital domain, it is very easy to lie. Physical world is based on interactions, face-to-face interactions. In your digital world, is it face-to-face interactions? No. Am I right or am I wrong? In your physical world, whomsoever is present here, do you have thousands of friends with whom you are in contact? Absolutely not. But in the digital world, people measure your worth by the number of followers you have, by the number of likes, comments, and everything that you're getting for a certain video. Yes or no? Imagine, rather than living in the physical world, I get more and more attracted, more and more addicted to the digital domain. What will happen to me? I will be away from reality. Very good. Other than that, I will be losing sight of what it is that I truly want in life. Couple of months ago, I came across an article where a travel influencer, I guess, she had a good number of followers on her social media. But slowly the number of followers started to decline. Unable to digest this fact, she committed suicide. Unable to digest the fact that she is losing followers, she committed suicide. Do you think she was more acquainted with physical persona, or do you think she was addicted to her digital persona? The problem is that. All right. Addiction is no longer limited to your drugs, drinks, or things like that. Digital addiction is becoming a major issue, major problem these days. You guys agree with me? Every now and then, I've seen my own students, every now and then, they're very sincere students, talented students. In almost all classes, I've seen this. Every now and then, they will open their mobile, see if someone has called them. Every now and then, they will touch their mobile to see if it is vibrating, even though it is not vibrating in reality. Am I right or am I wrong? Yes. Every now and then, you want to look at the notifications you might have gotten. The notifications will be useless notifications, Zomato notifications. Knock, knock, who is there? Sunday plan eno. Sunday plan eno. Essay class kelado. All right. Be that as it may. Did you understand? Listen to me now. Listen to me. The last sub-theme, self-knowledge and inner awareness. Look into this image. Is it visible to you? Can you make it out? It is from a very famous movie. Can anyone tell me what it is? Karate Kid. Very good. So in this Karate Kid, you see this individual standing on a edge, standing on a cliff. Am I right? And in front of that, who do you see? Snake. ನನಗೆ ಆ ಥರ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಓಡು ಇಲ್ಲ ಜಂಪು. Never standing in front of it and doing all of those things. Now be that as it may. So in that Karate Kid movie, that kid, he watches the situation. The teacher asks the kid, what do you see when you see this image, when you see this scene? The kid says, the individual over here, she is trying to mimic the movements of that snake. The snake was moving like this. The lady was also moving like this. So the kid says, the lady is trying to copy the snake. Teacher, ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಹೊಡೆದಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸತಿ ನೋಡಲಿ. The teacher Ask the kid to watch it again carefully. When he watches it again carefully, then he understands it was not the human, the lady who was mimicking the movement of the snake, but rather it was the snake which was mimicking the movement of the lady. When you are perfectly still, when you have tranquility in your mind, you will be able to understand things more clearly. As your friend Arvind said, it's not just about external knowledge in the world, it's about inner awareness. What keeps me calm? What keeps me agitated, distracted? If you understand these things, you can control your destiny a lot more easily. Without inner awareness, don't expect long-term success in your life. Inner awareness is very much important. All of you. I've tried as much as possible to simplify these themes and essay topics to you. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss some keywords, concepts. So how will you be writing in your notes? Knowledge and reasoning theme. Sub-themes, how many sub-themes you have? I think 7. Okay. Now, after writing about these sub-themes, what will you write now? You will be writing what is knowledge, definition of knowledge. Now, what is knowledge? Plato, one of the foremost thinkers to have ever been born on this planet, look at what he says knowledge is. Come here, look into this. Knowledge is justified true belief. Knowledge is justified true belief. All right. Imagine I give you some information. 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. Will you believe me? Why will you not believe me? It cannot be justified. You don't have any evidence for it. Some people might say 1 plus 1 is equal to 11, but I firmly believe 1 plus 1 is 2 only. All right. You are surrounded by information. When you make sense of this information, when you make sense of this knowledge, the knowledge that can be justified, that is what is called as knowledge. Knowledge is justified true belief. That is what Plato writes in his book, Theaetetus. Theaetetus. All of you are following my point. You don't have to remember the name of the book. You just have to remember, as per Plato, knowledge is nothing but justified true. Now, some people have this belief system that we are more pure than the other people. Do you think there is some truth behind it, or do you think that it is falsehood? Falsehood. Do you think it can be justified? No. So be careful. You're surrounded by so much of information. All the information will not give you knowledge, guys. No. That information that you understand, that information, that knowledge that can be justified based on true belief, that is knowledge. As per Plato, knowledge is nothing but justified true belief. Plato also says, knowledge will have 3 components. The first component is belief. Belief andre enu? The core idea you have in your mind. The core idea you have in your mind. So, madam with the red dupatta. Yes, madam. What's your name? Divyasri. Na yav ur madam? Chitradurga na? Jasti dura illa bidi davanite. Divyasri. Belief andre enu madam? Kannadadalli enanta kariti? Kannada barutta? What is belief in Kannada? Nambike. Nambike andre enu? Belief anta irbidi. Edurkobidi. Aramagili. Batch 6 No. Can anyone tell me what is belief? What is nambike? Give me a definition of it. It is the core idea that you have that guides you in your life. Am I right or am I wrong? So, Madam Divyasri, just like many other students from batch 6, they have joined UPSC preparation because they have a belief that they have the necessary talent, they have the necessary sincerity to clear this examination. Am I right or am I wrong? Artha Ketane. You might have heard Hindu belief, Islamic belief, Christian belief system. Am I right or am I wrong? It is their core idea that determines how they act in life. That is belief system. All of you are following? So in Hindu belief system, there is something called as law of karma. What is this law of karma? If you do good, good things will happen to you. If you do bad, bad things will happen to you. This is law of karma. Am I right or am I wrong? So clearly, as per Plato, knowledge is nothing but justified true belief. Now, as per Plato, again, knowledge has 3 components. What are these three components? First one is belief. The mind must accept or believe a proposition. Without belief, there can be no knowledge. All of you following my point? You have that firm belief that you can clear this examination. You believe in it. Imagine you had absolutely no belief whatsoever in your capabilities and you've come and joined UPSC preparation because your parents made you to join. Because of parental pressure you're joining, will you be able to get knowledge from whatever we are teaching, or will it just remain information only? Just remain information. You will be spending the time here, but you will not be adding any value to your life. You guys agree with me? First one is belief. Look at the second one. It is truth. The belief must correspond to reality. So let us say there are two water bottles in front of me. Two water bottles. I say I see two water bottles. I believe there are two water bottles. That can be justified, am I right? I'm using my sensory powers. You will also be using the sensory powers and you will be saying, sir, there are two water bottles. You're correct in your belief. Imagine we have so many beliefs that you have to get up on your right side, that whenever an eclipse is happening, you should not eat anything during the time of the eclipse. Am I right, sir? Am I wrong? And during your Naga Panchami, you have a belief that you have to go to a huttam. All right. And then what should you do? Pour milk. Nandini, Amul, that's your choice. All right. Now, all of these belief systems, is there any truth behind it? Not necessarily, right? Not necessarily. When religion is stripped out of its superstitious beliefs, that is when religion always thrives. When religion is reduced only to superstitious belief, then religion starts to decline. All right. Knowledge must be having a belief. Another component, that belief must be rooted in reality. All of you are following me? If I'm seeing two water bottles, I will say, I see two water bottles. I'm not going to say three. 1 + 1 is 2. It can't be 11. Even if some people give some other explanation or justification for it. And look at the third one, justification. The belief must be supported by good reason or evidence. This is what I meant. Am I right, sir? Am I wrong? So as per Plato, knowledge is nothing but justified true belief. The knowledge has three components. What are these three components? Yes, Arvind. One is belief. Another one is what? Truth. It should correspond to reality. And the third one is, it should be supported by reason or evidence. That is justification. Artha, all of you. Now let's do this small exercise. Open 2025 essay paper. Open 2025 essay paper. 2025 essay paper. Tell me. Go to that essay topic. Thought finds and creates a word. Thought finds and creates a word. Thought finds and creates a word. Okay. So the thoughts which are there in our mind, the thoughts must have a belief system behind it. You guys agree with me? That belief must be based on some truth. And it should also stand public scrutiny. It should also be justified. Am I right, or wrong? Imagine our thoughts do not correspond to these three components. Imagine the knowledge does not correspond to these three components. What will happen? Will we be creating the greatest civilization in the world, or will we be creating the fool's paradise? Fool's paradise. Dadda Shikamanigala paradise. Artha. Come back. Listen to me. Did you understand? We are learning the concepts now. And these concepts, we will apply them in various essay topics that UPSC has given. All right. Come back. Look into this. What is reasoning? Till now we have defined what is knowledge. What did Plato say? Knowledge is nothing but justified true belief. As per Plato, knowledge has three components. One is belief, another one is truth, and the last one is justification. Very good. Now, what is reasoning? What is the definition of reasoning? Here, I have not limited myself to only one philosopher. Here, I have given you so many philosophers. Look at what Aristotle says. Reasoning is the systematic movement from known truths to new truths through logic. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇರಬಹುದು. Open your mobile. I'll simplify it for you. Open your mobile. There are, just Google what I'm about to say. There are better practices to best practices. Google this. There are better practices to best practices. Google this. Okay. ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಏನೆಷ್ಟು ಸರಿ ಯಾವ ಊರು ಬಿಜಾಪುರ ಹಿಂದಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಶರೀಫ್ ಬಾಯಿ ಓಕೆ in which essay paper was this asked? There are better practices to best practices. In which UPSC paper was it asked? Tell me. 2023. All right. Look into what Aristotle is saying now. Reasoning is the systematic movement. Systematic movement means what? There should be a process. There should be a logic. Now, do you think they're going to choose IAS and IPS officer amongst you by throwing a dice? There is a systematic examination. You have to clear your prelims, your mains, your interview. You have to score a certain amount of marks. Only then you will be given those positions. Am I right? So whatever truth I am exploring in life, whatever reasoning I am exploring in my life, it should have that systematic movement behind it. From known truths. Newton, he gave a truth related to which force? Gravitation force. Am I right? Known truth. And for thousands of years, it continued. Until you have another individual called as Albert Einstein. What did Albert Einstein do? Even though Newton had given gravitational theory and everything, your Einstein, he improved upon it. What is reasoning? In reasoning, it's a systematic moment where there will be a known truth. Already gravitation, we knew that gravitation exists. But Einstein applied his extraordinary reasoning capabilities and he improved upon this existing known truth. Am I right? Existing known truth to derive new truths. That is reasoning. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. Couple of decades ago, do you think your mobiles had the same technology? Or do you think it was very crude, rudimentary? Rudimentary it was. Sending 100 SMS per day in itself was the biggest thing for us. But these days, very hardly people use SMS. Most of the times you use your WhatsApp. These days, people have even stopped calling in terms of the normal call process. You do your internet call. Voice over internet, we say, something like that. Come back, come back, come back. Technology is never stagnant. It keeps on improving. Reasoning is nothing but the systematic movement from known truths to derive new truths. As per who? Aristotle. As per Aristotle. Why are you supposed to understand this? Imagine, I'm giving you a philosophical topic on knowledge and reasoning. You have heard of knowledge, you have heard of reasoning, but you don't know all the angles associated with it. Will you be able to write properly? No. You will not even be able to analyze it properly. All right. For example, let me prove it. Open 2024 essay paper. 2024 essay paper. Okay, 2024 essay paper. Now there is an essay topic on social media. Am I right? On that essay topic of social media, ask yourself, does social media help you to derive new truths from existing truths? Not always, right? Most of the times it is not truth, it is falsehood. You might have heard of something called as deep fake. Why did government ban Telegram a couple of weeks ago? False information was being circulated, am I right? And sometimes all this piracy, question papers were being circulated. You guys agree with me? So when you take social media, it does not necessarily improve your reasoning capabilities. Whatever known truths are there, it will dilute it, it will corrupt it even more. Yes or no? Look at this one. Descartes, he basically says, reasoning is the disciplined use of doubt to arrive at certainty. Disciplined, systematic, are they entirely different or are they quite similar? Quite similar. Reasoning is nothing but disciplined use of doubt. What is doubt? Questioning things. Healthy questioning, healthy skepticism antanu karitare English alli. Healthy use of doubt to arrive at certainty. Certainty. In the world in which we are living, was it always certain for us or uncertainty was high? But because of science and technology, because of your religious reformers and everything, we are trying to reduce this uncertainty as much as possible. Am I right or am I wrong? And how do you think this uncertainty gets reduced? When one person starts to doubt. Galileo, who wrote a book, Some Thoughts Concerning Science. Sorry, not Some Thoughts. A dialogue of two sciences. He has written a book like this, I guess. In that particular thing, he doubts that it is not the earth which is at the center of the universe. What is it? The sun. So our reasoning, our knowledge improved because of him. You Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Jyotiba Phule, Savitri Bai Phule, all these great personalities, did they accept whatever was existing in the society, all those discriminatory practices, or did they doubt it? Yes, when they doubted it, that uncertainty which was there for people from the lower caste, it started to reduce. Like this. After this, I'm going to make you write few things. So be careful. After this, I'm going to make you write few things. So be careful. Look at the next one. Immanuel Kant. What does Immanuel Kant say? Reasoning is the faculty, is the teacher that synthesizes. Synthesizes means what? Breaking them apart or bringing them together. That synthesizes experiences into meaningful understanding. Meaningful understanding. Now, a couple of minutes ago, I told you a very simple thing. What was it? Whatever you learn, you should apply to what is happening in and around you. That is when you will be able to meaningfully understand the knowledge. When you're just learning, but you're not applying to what is happening in and around you, you're not working on your experiences, then it can be problematic. Artha ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? You tell me, guys, in the education system that we have, whatever experiences we have had in our education system, school, colleges and everything, are they meaningful or are they meaningless most of the times? All right. From our experiences, right, we should be able to derive a meaningful understanding. That is important. Okay. Look into this. David Hume, right, another thinker, he says, reasoning guides us, but human action is ultimately shaped by sentiments and desires. So reasoning is based on two parameters as per him. What are those two parameters? One is rationality and the other one is emotions, desires. Which one will have the ultimate say as per David Hume? Is it the rationality or is it the desire? Desire. Innu bekagide. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ತಾನೆ? ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು. Listen to me now, listen to me. You have Karl Popper, not Marx. That fellow is different. Karl Popper, he basically said, reasoning is the process of exposing beliefs to criticism and eliminating errors. So when Einstein came out with his theory of relativity, do you think people accepted his theory of relativity just like that, or do you think they did experiments on it? Mathematicians, they try to understand his theory, verify his mathematical equations. Am I right? That is what it is. Reasoning is the process of exposing the ruling party's beliefs to criticism of opposition members and eliminating any errors in governance. Did you understand? Karl Popper, what did he say? Reasoning is the process of exposing whatever beliefs I have to certain criticism and in the process eliminating errors that I have in my thinking. Is this good for me or is this bad? Good for me. Constructive criticism is always welcome. Destructive criticism just to harm the personality of the individual, just to harm his identity, that is not welcome in life. All of you are following me? Look at the last one, Bertrand Russell. He says, reasoning is the courage to question one's own convictions. Conviction means what? Your firmly held belief. So, Nimi Gottu, you want to be IAS and IPS anta. But imagine you keep questioning whether I am going to be an IAS or an IPS with whatever process I'm having. You're lazy, let us say. But you have a conviction that I will be IAS and IPS officer, but you reason, I want to be IAS and IPS, but I'm lazy. Through this laziness, I can't become an IAS and IPS. So what will you do? Most of you, will you change your goal only, or will you change your laziness? You will improve it. So reasoning is you questioning your own convictions. That is important. All right. Imagine I'm a businessman. I set up a company with some idea. The business is also running. But when I run my business, I have certain experiences. These experiences, they constructively criticize my belief system, my convictions. Should I change, or should I just continue with my same business idea? I should change. Many people advised Vijay Mallya that his Kingfisher Airlines, rather than providing the best possible service, first and foremost, he should primarily provide for what? Moving from point A to point B in as accessible and affordable manner as possible. But what did Vijay Mallya care about? Was it the best airlines, or was it the most punctual airline? Best airline, all the facilities available. Am I making my point clear? He did not reason with his own deeply held belief. He did not reason with his own convictions. That is why he failed. All of you are understanding me? So now, do you have an understanding of what is knowledge? Don't look at the board. Don't look at the board. What is knowledge? Justified true belief. What is reasoning? Don't look at your notes also. Reasoning is nothing but you having the courage to question your own convictions. Reason is nothing but learning from our experiences and deriving a meaning from it. Am I making my point clear? What did Aristotle say? Reasoning is nothing but a systematic study from known truths to new truths. That's it. Now I'm going to give you a small assignment, and I'm going to give you 10 minutes. You should write that assignment. Here it's. All right? Write down. Write down. Indian education system. Indian education system. Hyphen. Does it encourage? Does it encourage? Does it encourage knowledge and reasoning capabilities? Does it encourage knowledge and reasoning capabilities in our students? In our students. In our students. Question mark. In our students. I don't want a 12-page essay. All I want is what? 2-page content on it. 2-page content. All right. So, nimige knowledge and reasoning ಏನು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತು ತಾನೆ? ಈ ತರ knowledge, ಈ ತರ reasoning Indian education system ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? Are we getting the knowledge and reasoning all of these people spoke in our Indian education system? Yes or no? Partially yes, mostly talk about it. Talk about it. You have understood the concept. Now you are supposed to apply it. I'm going to give you 15 minutes, let us say. 15 minutes, start writing. Knowledge and reasoning. Does Indian education system help you in developing this? The question is something like that. Go ahead. You can write an answer. Not at all a problem. Yakappa Vivek? ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ? ಮಾಡಿ. 3 more minutes. All right, pens down, everyone. Pens down, pens down. That's enough. So you are supposed to write how many pages of content? 2 pages. Has anyone written 2 pages of content? Finished? Okay. At least 1 page, I hope all of you have been able to write. Good enough, good enough. So come back, come back, come back. So I told you, whatever concepts you study, you should be able to do what? Apply it. So knowledge and reasoning, does Indian education system adequately encourage it? The question is something like this, am I right? How will I start writing it? Will I start by defining what is knowledge, what is reasoning, just like that? Or will I give some context? I have to give some context. For example, education system, no matter where it is, what is the purpose of that education system? The purpose is to do what? Improve the personality of the person. What will be the other purpose? To help in the growth of the country. So I'll keep this in mind. Indian education system is based. Good. Indian education system is based on the twin objectives of not only helping to improve the personality of the individual, but also to contribute towards the growth of the country. So here some 3-4 lines are done. Now to achieve this objective, the most important parameter is to encourage knowledge and reasoning adequately amongst our students. All of you are following me? So I've given a context. Now, after giving the context, then you can start writing what is knowledge and reasoning, the definition of it. So let us say in the next paragraph, you start writing, for the purpose of this essay, for our simple understanding, the term knowledge can simply be understood as what? Justified true belief. Within the bracket, you can write Plato. Close the bracket, full stop. As per Plato, knowledge has three components. What are these three components? Hyphen, belief, comma, truth and justification. All right. Next, various thinkers over the years have commented upon what is reasoning. For example, David Hume opines that reasoning is opening your ideas, your belief system to criticisms and to eliminate errors in the process. Am I right or am I wrong? Bertrand Russell believes reasoning is having the necessary courage to question one's own convictions. So in the first paragraph, I told what is the purpose of education. In the second paragraph, I have told what is knowledge and reasoning as per some philosophers. Am I right? Will I stop here? Next, I will talk in the Indian education system as of now. The Gurukula system of education that existed several thousands of years ago emphasized on knowledge and reasoning. For example, Panchatantra tried to improve the moral reasoning of individuals. Aryabhatta, Charaka, Sushruta, they tried to improve the external knowledge of the world. Patanjali tried to emphasize on the internal knowledge required by us. Am I right or am I wrong? However, in the present Indian education system, more than knowledge, more than reasoning, what is demanded is blind loyalty. What is demanded is just passive listening. What is demanded is just scoring marks in an examination. Processing information is not important as much as digesting information. You guys agree with me? Have I used any PhD points anywhere, or have I tried to keep it as simple as possible? As simple as possible. I painted the picture of education, objectives, then I defined what is knowledge and reasoning. Then I'm going to talk about the ancient system of education, then present system. Now tell me, in the present education system, when knowledge and reasoning is not there adequately, what might be the impact of it? Imagine a student, he has gotten a degree, and throughout his education system, the knowledge and reasoning capabilities are not built into him. So when he goes outside in the real world, do you think he's going to be confident, or do you think he's going to feel that inferiority? That is another problem. Due to lack of reasoning and knowledge in our students, the inferiority complex or their low self-confidence, self-esteem is a problem. The anxiety and depression it brings results in n number of suicides that occurs in our country, especially when competitive results are announced within the bracket, NEET and all of these things you have. Istu baradre nimdu ondu 2 page agutte tane. All of you. See, this is not UPSC essay. This was just whatever you learned, applying that thing to what is happening in and around us. As we move forward, I'm going to teach you how to apply concepts that I have taught you to essay topics asked by UPSC, be it in the introduction, body, or even conclusion. Did you understand this? Listen to me, guys. Listen to me. Look into this. After writing down the definition of knowledge, the definition of reasoning, the next thing that should be there in your notes is a person. His name is Jiddu Krishnamurti. Now, Jiddu Krishnamurti, one of the foremost philosophers of 20th century, he has written a book, From the Known. And in this book, let us say he is giving a statement, understanding oneself is the beginning of intelligence. So I can use the observation made in this book, From the Known, written by Jiddu Krishnamurti, understanding oneself is the beginning of intelligence. I will use that statement for what? Inner understanding, self-understanding, self-discovery. What is self-discovery? Understanding oneself is self-discovery. What is intelligence? Not just having academic knowledge or anything like that, having intelligence about your own self, that is intelligence. अर्थात येता नहीं? The same Jiddu Krishnamurti, he takes few things in his books. He talks about conditioning. Now let us be honest. Most of us, we have been conditioned to think in an individualistic manner, or do we think in Gumpal Govinda mentality? Gumpal Govinda mentality, am I wrong? Condition agogide. Whenever I give you a certain practice that you should do, certain process you should do, the immediate question you have in your mind is, what are the shortcuts? We are conditioned that way. Am I right or am I wrong? We are conditioned not to question the authority. All of these things we should keep aside. That is what Jiddu Krishnamurti says. Understanding oneself is the key to intelligence. Understanding what are the various conditioning which has been put in you. That is important. Developing awareness of only the external thing or the internal one. What is internal awareness? What are your values? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What makes you angry? This is self-awareness. Look at the third one, freedom from dogma. Narrow beliefs. Sometimes religion gives you this dogmatic beliefs. Am I right or am I wrong? Freedom from such type of thinking is dogma. Artha kriyata nahi. My religion might say n number of things. Some people might say, a lady who has lost her husband, she should commit sati. Do you think she should commit sati, or do you think she should be given the freedom not to follow such dogmatic beliefs? That is what he says. Most of the times we are worshipping our gods not because we like the God, we respect the God, because we are fearful of the God. Dogmatic beliefs. Adana side key. Look at the last thing, inner inquiry. What did Bertrand Russell say? Reasoning is nothing but questioning yourself, having the courage to question your own convictions, your own belief system. That is inner inquiry. Next time, let us say, ask Arvind, what is self-discovery? He will say, understanding oneself is self-discovery, sir. And to understand oneself, one must know how they have been conditioned. One must know about their own value systems. One must have freedom from dogmatic beliefs. One must have inner inquiry in them. That is self-discovery. Let us say you are using social media quite regularly, quite consistently in your life. Do you think you will be able to understand your own self, or do you think it will be problematic? Problematic, because when you're using social media, more than inner inquiry, it is just about external validation. I want more likes, so I'll go with the duck pose or whatever pose you ask me to do. These type of things. All of you are following my point? Don't be like that. Now look into this table which is there in front of you. In UPSC, my dear friends, I saw that they have given you the syllabus copy, batch 6 students, am I right? A pamphlet ತರ ಇರೋದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇವಾಗ GS paper 1 ಏನ್ syllabus copy ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು? ಸಬ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ 6 ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳೋದ? ಅರವಿಂದ್, GS paper 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಬರುತ್ತಪ್ಪ? ಮೇನ್ಸ್ paper 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ 6 ಅಲ್ವಾ ನೀನು? ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ಯಾ? ಓಕೆ ಸರಿ, ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ 6 ಏನಿದೆ ಪೇಪರ್ 1 ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ? ಅದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದೇನ್ ಪಾಂಪ್ಲೆಟ್ ಚುರುಮುರಿ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕ? ಹೋದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ. Listen to me. In paper 1 you have subjects such as what? Tell me. History, society, geography. History ಬರುತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ, ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ತಗೋಬೇಡ. All right, come back. Listen to me. My dear friends, you need to have proper idea about your syllabus topics. You need to have proper clarity about each and every word which is there in your syllabus topic. Proper idea. If you do not have it, it is problematic. I'll tell you why. Let us say in front of you, there are 4 things. One is information. The next one is knowledge. The third one is understanding, and the last one is wisdom. Now these four words you have always heard in your life. There is no problem with it whatsoever. You have always heard. But when I ask you, what is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Do you think all of you will be able to give me a reasonable answer, or will it be difficult? It will be difficult. Nan kelakinta munche rakshite heltidan kelbedi sir anta. All right. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Information is nothing but facts that is given to you. Information is nothing but facts that is given to you. When you make sense of that facts, that is when it becomes knowledge. What is understanding? Grasping the relationship and meaning. That is when understanding is born. For example, let me simplify it. Someone gave me an information of radio telemetry. All of you are following me? I used that information. I understood it. That is knowledge. Am I making my point clear? Now, I developed the necessary understanding to explain the concept of radio telemetry to others. That is understanding. All of you are following me? I got the information. I made sense of the information. Knowledge is born. I've understood the knowledge in such a way that I'm explaining that to you, the meaning of it, the relationship of the concept with your well-being in as simple way as possible. That is understanding. And the last one is wisdom. When you're able to apply whatever you've understood in the real world to face the real challenges, that is when wisdom is born. All four terms, are they same or are they different? They're very much different. They're not the same. So you need to have minute understanding of each and every word which is there in your syllabus, which has been asked in your PYQs regularly. Regularly you need to have. If not, things will become very problematic for you. So what is information? Raw facts. When you make sense of the information, when you develop the necessary capability to explain that knowledge to someone else, the meaning, that is when understanding is there. When you apply what you have accumulated, what you have understood to what is happening in and around you, that is when wisdom is born. All of you following? I know some of you are my old students, some of you are sitting here for the very first time. Can you think of any essay topics based on these keywords? Wisdom finds truth. Like that. All of you following me? Imagine the thoughts that is there in your mind. Those thoughts, they are purely based on information. The thoughts are not complemented by knowledge. The thoughts are not complemented by understanding. The thoughts are not complemented by wisdom. Do you think that will be a very happy, festive, celebratory thought? Or do you think it is going to be ineffective thought? Many people have information about constitution, information about religion, information about other things. Their knowledge level, their understanding capabilities, and more importantly, their wisdom is absolutely low. It is in negative. That is why we are suffering so much. You guys agree with me? Why is it that many of you like to listen to motivational speakers, read self-help books? Because in these type of books and in these type of videos, they try to make sense of the world which is happening. They make you understand what the world is, and they give you the necessary wisdom to apply it in your real world challenges. Am I making my point clear? Did you understand its meaning? Okay, come back. Look into this. Now imagine you're giving me information. Now how will you give me information? How will I accumulate knowledge from it? That is what we call as sources of knowledge. So for you to get sources of news, what do you usually do? You read newspapers, books. You might hear to some podcast. Am I right or am I wrong? What are the other sources of current affairs news? You might watch some inside shots. Am I right or am I wrong? Like this. So when I talk about sources of knowledge, how do I accumulate knowledge? How is that input in me? There is one thing called as empiricism. You have it here. We call it as empiricism. It is based on experience. Now, how many of you come from farming background? Farming, agriculture. Okay, good. So I might read about agriculture in my books. Not at all a problem. But these people, since they have experience in agriculture, they might be much better suited to explain some concepts. Am I right or am I wrong? For most of the people, the source of their knowledge is empiricism, is based on their experience. For scientists, is it based on experience, the source of knowledge, or is it based on reason, that is rationalism? Rationalism, reasons. Am I making my point clear? Some of the people sitting here, you learn through your experiences. Some of the people sitting here, you might learn through reasons. And some other people, they take up their decision, they accumulate knowledge based on their intuition. You might have heard of something called as gut feeling. That is what is intuition for you. You come across a person, the gut feeling will say, no, I like this person, gut feeling. Or the gut feeling might say, I don't like this person. Do you think this gut feeling is always right? It is always wrong, especially in the matters of love. Never trust your gut feeling. Don't look at me like that. All right. Be that as it may. Intuition, that is one more source of knowledge. And look at the other one. Testimony. Testimony by what? Authority, tradition. All of you following me? You have your Bhagavad Gita, you have your Quran, you have your Bible. Many people, even to this day, they consider whatever is written in the sacred books as valid testimonies. And they follow it. During the Ramzan month, what do Muslims indulge in? Charitable activities, fasting and all of these things. The source of knowledge for all these behaviors is what? Testimony written in your sacred books. All of you following me? Look at the last thing, revelation, spiritual experience. Now, some of you sitting here, you might have gone to certain temples. In those temples, maybe a spiritual experience you witnessed. Some of you might have gone to some Sufi dargahs. Am I making my point clear? Some of you might have walked in a lonely forest amidst some bhuta, pishachi, pide. That also creates some spiritual experience in you. There is a very famous saying in English, atheist until the plane starts falling. Communist until you get rich. All of you following my point? Come back, come back. You might have had some spiritual experiences in your life. Based on that, the source of knowledge could also be born. For example, if I have to simplify this further for you, you remember your Narendranath? What is Narendranath famously called as? Swami Vivekananda, not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swami Vivekananda. Now, this Swami Vivekananda, from a very young period, he had so many questions. But he was unable to find the right answers for his questions, the satisfactory answers for his questions. But when he met Ramakrishna Parahamsa, it was a spiritual experience for him. That spiritual experience became his source of knowledge. Can you think of any other individuals who had that spiritual experience because of which they got knowledge? You think simple. There was a guy, Gautama Buddha. When Gautama Buddha comes, you can include also Mahavira. All of you following me? There is no scarcity of people. Please don't say Nityananda. All right. No spiritual experience over there whatsoever. Be that as it may. Sources of knowledge. Did you understand? You should be able to apply this. That is even more important. When you are using social media way too much, the experiences, are they rooted in reality or are they inorganic experiences? Inorganic. The conversation that you will be having with someone on social media is not necessarily rooted in reality. Am I right? You might have seen this Tinder, Bumble, Hinge and so many other apps that are there. Casual dating apps. Do you think people are very honest on their casual dating apps or do they lie? They lie through their teeth. All of you following me? Some people, they source their knowledge through their reason, rationalism. Good, there's nothing wrong with it. But too much of reasoning, too much of rationalism, that is also bad, because we human beings at the end of the day, we are not just rational animals, we are also emotional animals. All of you following me? So if you have come here, you might have come here because of emotions, intuition, let us say. But after you've come here, your emotions in itself is not enough. You need to, yes, use rationality. And at the same time, Whatever experiences you have today, tomorrow, whatever it might be, from those experiences, you should be able to derive knowledge out of it. Derive knowledge out of it. If not, things will be very difficult for you guys. Okay. In my class, or primarily speaking, in Indian education system, we must give you diverse experiences. Diverse ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Single or multiple? Multiple experiences in such a way that you are able to lead your life in a smooth manner, or you are able to tackle the challenges of your life in a smoother manner. But if in my Indian education system, I'm exposing you only to limited, very narrow experiences, you will never be able to succeed in life. Am I right or am I wrong? That's the thing. Even in terms of parenting, the present generation of parents, they want to safeguard their kids in every which way possible. They don't want their kids to take even a small challenge. Now they might safeguard their kids for 20 years, 22, 23, whatever it might be. But when the kid goes out into the real world, when he is exposed to the real world experiences, do you think parents can always be there for us? Never. Am I making my point clear? Like this, remember it. In some place or the other, you will always use it. Now, when you were there in your schools and colleges and graduations, I don't think these type of curriculum you would have studied. Am I right? That is why philosophical essay topics seem a little bit difficult to you. But once you understand these concepts and then you go on to the essay topics, it becomes much easier. Now look into this board, guys. Here I have written nature of truth. Nature of truth. Let me explain this nature of truth once more to your friends. What is truth? Truth is based on reality. Truth is based on reality. Now this truth, it can have two parts. One is objective truth. Another one is subjective truth. What is subjective truth? It varies from person to person. Very good. So do you think all the people sitting here will be liking the chocolate cake flavor, or do you think they will be liking their own flavors? Their own flavors. And then there will be some psychopaths, or vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, ella one hotel irbeku. Artha kriyatane. Truth can be subjective. For example, you might have heard of something called as abortion. Am I right? Some people support it, some people don't support it. Let us say subjective truth. What is objective truth? No matter what anyone says, truth will exist independently here. So I say gravitation force exists. Our Sharif says, no sir, gravitation force does not exist. Irrespective of what he or I think, gravitational force, will it exist or not exist? It will always exist. What are objective truths? Objective truths exist independently no matter what he, me, or anyone else thinks. What is subjective truth? It exists based on individual opinion, subjective opinions. Now when you come and ask me which optional subject you should take, is there an objective answer for it, or is it quite subjective? It is quite subjective. All right? Remember this. Look into this one. Nature of truth. There is one more concept here. That concept is universalism and relativism. Universalism and relativism. Now, what is universalism? Quite simple. Let us say, I say you have to be punctual. Let us say I want you to be disciplined. Let us say I tell you you have to complete the answers within 1.5 hours. The question paper within 1.5 hours. Let us say these are the three rules, three truths we have. So in the classroom, when I apply these three truths, should I apply selectively or should I apply universally? So if there are 30 students sitting here, I should apply these three truths universally to all 30 students without any bias. That is what we call as universalism. For example, whatever is there in the Indian Constitution, is it applied only to selective people or is it applied universally? आप हो सकते हैं अमिताभ बच्चन और कोई भी, but under the rule of law, a mistake is a mistake. Universally, the principles are applied. Objectivity, existence ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Universalism, application ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Imagine in this 30 students who are sitting, one of the students is blind. So when that student is blind, do you think I should give him 1.5 hours or should I give him some extra time? That is relativity. In relativism, we basically say truths do not apply to everyone because there are cultural changes. Now in India, we believe universally, across all religion, we believe this. Even after a kid turns 18, even when a kid is earning money, getting married, he has his own children, he has to take care of home, the parents. Now, do you think this particular truth applies even in America? No. At the age of 11 itself, they will be thinking, when will I turn 18 so that I can get away from these people? Am I right or am I wrong? Relativism. All like you're following me. Simple. Did you understand these concepts? Don't worry, in ethics classes, you will be learning more about it. This is just a trailer of it. Now come back, guys. Come back. Look into this. They have given something called as coherence theory. Coherence. What is this coherence theory? Truth is consistency within a system of ideas. Truth is consistency within a system of ideas. What does it actually mean? Imagine you're sitting in a science class, and in that science class, they talk about some irrational belief systems. I'm teaching you science, but I'm talking about irrational behaviors. So is there any truth between what I am speaking? Is there consistency between what I am speaking and what the subject expects? No. Truth is consistency within a system of ideas. Now let us say you're reading in newspapers, in West Bengal there is a drama, political drama going on. Can anyone tell me what is that political drama? TMC ಏನು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಏನು egg throwing, okay. ಅದೇ ಹೇಳು TMC versus BJP ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? ಇದು TMC versus BJP ಅಲ್ಲ, TMC versus TMC. Correct, Rakshit? Sorry? Horse trading, yes. ಏನಪ್ಪ UCC ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದಿದೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಏನ್ ಮೇಡಮ್? That is what politicians are for. Except Vinay sir, all right, yes. Bangladesh? Adu ide. Let me tell you, what I was talking about, let me tell you. There are people who are part of TMC. They fought on the ideology of TMC. Am I right or am I wrong? Now they want to leave TMC and they want to join BJP. Do you see coherence theory in them? What is coherence theory? Truth is consistency within a system of ideas. Today I am in BJP. I ಬಂದನ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ಗೆ ಬೈತೀನಿ. ನಾಳೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪವರಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೋಗೋ BJP, ಬಾರೋ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್. In politics, this is what you famously call as Aya Ram, Gaya Ram. Aya Nitish, Gaya Nitish. ಗೊತ್ತು ತಾನೆ ನಿತೀಶ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ? Former Chief Minister of. All right. Be that as it may, coherence theory. Truth is consistency within a system of ideas that you hold very dear to you. You can't change your ideology in such a dramatic manner, drastic manner, within a couple of days, within a couple of hours. You yourself have studied about politicians who have done Bharat Darshan in all political parties. One time they will be in BJP, another time Congress, another time JDS, another time another party that they have themselves started. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ಕೋಹರೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೇಳೋದೊಂದು ಮಾಡೋದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು. In this type of situation, whatever they're speaking, whatever they're doing, again there is a mismatch. Do you see consistency there? Coherence. Look at the other one. Pragmatic theory. Truth is what works in practice. This is nice. I like this. Most of the times, whatever education we get from the books, it is called as bookish education. And whatever is the reality in the world, will it be same as your bookish education or will it be different? Different. Pragmatic theory says the nature of truth is what works in reality, what works practically speaking. Bookish knowledge will never help you for a longer time in your life. Remember that. You need to understand the truth on which you can base your practical life, you can base your reality on. Artha agtiye taane? And look at the last one, postmodern perspective. What is the nature of truth as per postmodern perspective? Truth is shaped by power, culture, and narratives. So a person who has more power, he will change the definition of truth only. Am I right or am I wrong? If you go and ask our Reddy brothers from Ballari, at one point in time, they had even changed the boundary of Karnataka. Do you remember that? That accusation was there on them. If you go to North Korea, all the people of North Korea believe that Kim Jong-un is their God. God. Artha agtiye taane? Power. Look at the other one. Culture. Truth is shaped by culture. If you take Hindu culture, Islamic culture, or Christian culture, whatever truths all of these three religions believe in, are they same or are they different? They're different. Then there is narratives or propaganda that you know, that you have come across in your life. Artha agtiye taane? The nature of truth, it can be objective or the nature of truth, it can be universalistic or the nature of truth, it should be consistent with the system of ideas. I hope you have understood what is that. What is that theory called as? Coherence theory. The nature of truth should be pragmatic. It should help you to lead your life in a practical way. That is pragmatic theory. What is the last one? Postmodernist. Truth is shaped by what? Power, culture, and narratives. Now open 2025. Now open 2025 essay paper. All right. 2025 essay paper. Tell me, in which essay topic can I apply the nature of truth that we just studied now? Truth knows no color. So tell me, truth knows no color. That statement, is it an objective statement that they're making in the question or is it subjective? They're giving you an objective statement, am I right? But you can counter. You can counter and tell them, no. Truth can be subjective also. Truth can be universalistic. Truth can be relativistic. Truth, the nature of truth is, it should be pragmatic. It should be consistent with the system of ideas. Truth is shaped by what? Power, culture, and narratives. Here itself you got so many points. So when you become aware of the concepts, it becomes much easier to write essay for topics like that. It's not a difficult topic. It's quite simple. Artha agtiye taane? Sometimes you're having conversations with your parents. Your parents know that they're wrong, but still they will stick to their truth. Am I right or am I wrong? And we also let it go. Why? Because they have power. Alva, ಏನು ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಂತೆ. ಹಿಂಗೆ ನಮಗೂ ಯಾರೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. Be that as it may. Did you understand all of these things? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ತಾನೆ? Now let us say I give you a small assignment. Will you be able to write? Write down the assignment. Here itself you should write. The nature of truth. The nature of truth. And its many faces. The nature of truth and its many faces. The nature of truth and its many faces. All right. You have just 10 minutes, not 15 this time. You have just 10 minutes. Time is 1:38. So do it. Nature of truth and its many faces. You have to first give a context, then talk about its phases. All right. All of you, listen. It was a straightforward question. What were they asking? Truth and the various natures of truth. Am I right or am I wrong? Simple. Now, I think many of you were facing a problem in terms of starting, in terms of giving an intro. Am I right? Yes. You had body of the answer, but you did not have the intro. Now, whenever I am teaching you something, I am expecting that you will apply whatever I am teaching to what is happening. Do you remember, in our country, we have a very famous saying, Satyameva Jayate. How many of you have written about this in your answers? Anyone? No? So what will you say? Satyameva Jayate. Within the bracket, what will you write? Truth alone triumphs is an important philosophy that guides the Indian governance. When governance is based on truth, it results in happiness or inclusive growth and inclusive growth and inclusive. For us to contribute to this truth, we must first understand its various natures and phases. Can I write like that? After writing like this, then I will go ahead and talk about objective and subjective, universalism and relativism, then coherence theory, then pragmatic theory, and finally you also have your postmodernist perspectives. Am I right or am I wrong? This is how you're supposed to write. You had this answer, but you did not have this one. That is where you suffered. So this is the first part of the answer. This is the second part. Will I end just like this, or will I give a small conclusion? I have to give a small conclusion. What conclusion will I give? When our thoughts are based on truth, our thoughts can help us to find and create a world that ensures intergenerational justice. Something like this you can write if you want, or if you're following me. When we understand the truth, we will be able to find and create a world that does justice to the sacrifices of our forefathers. It does justice to the constitutional values which is expected from us. It does justice to the national goals like Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas, Atma Nirbhar Bharat, things like that. All of you are following me? When we understand the truth and we appreciate and celebrate it in our life, the world will not be as corrupt as we see in the present times. This is how you can write. How many of you wrote complete answers for this assignment? Completed it. Okay, one. Good enough. Not a problem. Good enough. All of you are understanding? Come back. Listen to me. Look into this. Now, there was a part in your sub-theme which spoke about decision making. Am I right? How do we take decisions? Purely in a rational manner, or are there any emotions involved as well? Now, Daniel Kahneman, in one of his very famous book, Thinking Fast and Slow, he says there are two types of decision making that we have in our brain. One is system 1, other one is system 2. In the system 1, we will be taking decision based on impulses, gut feeling, emotions. In the system 2, you will be taking decisions using your reasoning capabilities. You will take more time. 2 plus 2 is what? 2 plus 2 is 2, na madam. 2 plus 2 is what? 4. Very good. Now, if I ask you 2067 plus 3087, will you be able to give me an answer very quickly, or do you have to spend some time answering it? That your brain is using system 2. So there are two decision-making centers in your brain. One is system one. It takes decisions impulsively. It takes decision based on emotions. It takes decision based on practice. Since you have practiced 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, since you know 2 to the power of 3 is 8, it comes very naturally, it comes very quickly to you. When I ask you what is 2 to the power of 8, does it come very easily to you, or should you do some calculations on your book? Calculations, am I right? There you are activating your system 2. In your life, should you base all of the decisions on system 1 only? Should you base all of the decisions on system 2, or should it be both? It should be both. Imagine you're driving your car. Some another car is coming opposite to you. You have to adjust your direction. Will you take a book? The speed of the opposing car is so and so. My speed is so and so. Relative speed is so and so. As modestly, you will be so. All of you following me? So there you will take an impulsive decision based on your practice. When you're taking any career-defining decision, example coming to UPSC or things like that, there you have to use system 2, that is reasoning capabilities. All of you following me? Your inner awareness means what? Arvind should know. Am I basing my life purely on knowledge, purely on system 1? Am I basing my life purely on system 2? Where should I change? How should I change? He should know. That is inner discovery. That is self-discovery. Did you understand this concept? We will be applying this concept again. Come back. Look into this, guys. Metacognition. There is a concept in your psychology called as metacognition. To understand simply what is metacognition, thinking about thinking. How I arrive at an answer. How I try to deal with any challenge, how I try to deal with anger, thinking about thinking. Am I making my point clear? That is what we call as what? Metacognition. This is a psychology concept. What do we do in this metacognition? Look at its components. First one is self-awareness. I've already told you this. So I've made you sit here from 11:10 and it is almost nearing 2 p.m. So some of you would be wondering, will sir ever give a break? For those who already know me, I never give a break as a principal. All right. So I will take some more class, some more time, and then I'm going to let you go until we come back for the second half. Metacognition, self-awareness. I know you've been sitting for more than 2.5 hours. So I need to let you go as soon as possible. Don't worry, I'll let you go. You're a promise, I'll let you go. All right. Metacognition, thinking about thinking. First one is self-awareness. Your value systems, your strengths, your weaknesses, the situation in which you find yourself in. That is self-awareness. Look at the other one, self-monitoring. You should have the ability to regulate whatever emotions that is there inside of you. Monitor emotions that are there inside of you. Back in your schools and colleges, back in your graduation, how long was a period for? Madam, how long was the period for? What's your name? Sorry? Hamer? Nice name. All right. I'm just going to call you Hema, madam. All right. In your graduation, biosciences, right? How long was your one period for? 45 minutes. And here I'm making you sit for 2.5 hours. Plus the 2. And if you talk to mains month end students, they will be sitting for 8 hours. A break of 2 hours in the middle. Alvena? Mugita GS3? Ilva? Nade yadide. GS3 idya? Okay. Come back. Listen to me. What I'm trying to convey to you is this. I am aware that you're getting into a different ecosystem altogether. You're also aware of it. But any irritation you might be getting, you should have that regulating capacity. Okay. The demand of the exam previously was different. The demand here is different. All right. 45 minutes will not be enough for UPSC coaching. It will be more. So any irritation you might get, you're going to give rationalizations like this and just move on. Find some energy to focus for a little bit more time. All of you following me? Metacognition, what is the other thing? Self-correction. Many a times when you're doing a certain activity, When you're speaking with someone, you know that you're speaking something wrong. You're getting angry unnecessarily. At that point in time, there is an internal mechanism in your own mind that is called as conscience. Use that conscience. Change your actions. Do self-correction by your own self. Do you think always other people will be there in your life to course correct you, tell you that this is what you're supposed to do? Never. You're all matured individuals as of now. There is an internal mechanism in your mind. What do we call this internal mechanism as? Conscience. There is a voice inside your head which will be saying what is right and what is wrong. Am I right or am I wrong? That will help you to self-correct. Please do that. And look at the last one, reflection. Reflection basically means I sat for almost 2.5+ hours today from 11:10, let us say till 2:10. What were the things that I learned? I learned that in UPSC there is a major theme called as what? Knowledge and reasoning. I learned there are 7 sub-themes associated with it. I learned what is knowledge today, what is reasoning today. I learned what various philosophers have spoken about, the nature of truth, difference between information, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Reflection is nothing but how the actions that you took on that particular day impacted you, the people around you, and the people who believe in you. All of you following me? That is reflection. Many people, they do this reflection by maintaining a journal. Am I right or am I wrong? Whatever happened on that particular day, they tend to write it down in their journal. All of you following me? That is what. Metacognition is an important concept. If this metacognition is not there, do you think inner discovery, self-discovery will happen successfully, or will it be a failure? Failure. Thinking about thinking. What are the various components? That should be there in your notes. Did you understand this? Come back. There are a few more concepts. I'll teach you these concepts and then we'll move on to essay topics. Wisdom finds truth. I'll be teaching you how to give your introduction, how to go about with the body of the answer and everything after we come back. So come back by 3:15, guys. All right. Have your lunch and come back by 3:15. Thank you. Okay, madam. After the second session. This dual process theory, does Daniel say about? This dual process theory is accepted by a good number of people, Kavya. I'm unable to understand what is the exact question you have. Please reframe the question and I'll get back to you.